Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Go against, as of rules and laws. This behavior conflicts with our rules. An open clash between two opposing groups, or individuals. The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. A hostile meeting of opposing military forces in the course of a war. A disagreement or argument about something important. The familiar conflict between Republicans and Democrats. An incompatibility of dates or events. He noticed a conflict in the dates of the two meetings. A state of opposition between persons or ideas or interests. His conflict of interest made him ineligible for the post. Be in conflict. The two proposals conflict. Opposition between two simultaneous but incompatible feelings. He was immobilized by conflict and indecision. Opposition in a work of drama or fiction between characters or forces, especially an opposition that motivates the development of the plot. This form of conflict is essential to man's writing. Deny the truth of. Go against, as of rules and laws. Go against, as of rules and laws. Advance beyond the usual limit. Go against, as of rules and laws. An energetic attempt to achieve something. He fought a battle for recognition. An open clash between two opposing groups, or individuals. Police tried to control the battle between the pro- and anti-abortion mobs. A hostile meeting of opposing military forces in the course of a war. Grant won a decisive victory in the Battle of Chickamauga. Battle or contend against in or as if in a battle. They battled over the budget. Climb awkwardly, as if by scrambling. An energetic attempt to achieve something. Getting through the crowd was a real struggle. Be engaged in a fight. Carry on a fight. An open clash between two opposing groups, or individuals. Make a strenuous or labored effort. She struggled for years to survive without welfare. Strenuous effort. The struggle to get through the crowd exhausted her. To exert strenuous effort against opposition. He struggled to get free from the rope. A mutual promise to marry. The act of giving someone a job. Contact by fitting together. The engagement of the clutch. The act of sharing in the activities of a group. The teacher tried to increase his students' engagement in class activities. A hostile meeting of opposing military forces in the course of a war. He lost his romantic ideas about war when he got into a real engagement. Employment for performers or performing groups that lasts for a limited period of time. A meeting arranged in advance. Be engaged in a fight. Carry on a fight. Siblings are always fighting. A hostile meeting of opposing military forces in the course of a war. Make a strenuous or labored effort. The act of fighting. Any contest or struggle. A fight broke out at the hockey game. Exert oneself continuously, vigorously, or obtrusively to gain an end or engage in a crusade for a certain cause or person. Be an advocate for. Fight against or resist strongly. Don't fight it. An aggressive willingness to compete. The team was full of fight. A boxing or wrestling match. The fight was on television last night. An intense verbal dispute. A violent fight over the bill is expected in the Senate. A variation that deviates from the standard or norm. The number that remains after subtraction. The number that when added to the subtrahend gives the minuend. A disagreement or argument about something important. There were irreconcilable differences. A significant change. The difference in her is amazing. The quality of being unlike or dissimilar. There are many differences between jazz and rock. A disagreement or argument about something important. Coming into conflict with. Take exception to. A disagreement or argument about something important. He had a dispute with his wife. Have a disagreement over something. Fail to agree with. Be in violation of, as of rules or patterns. Resist. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Hurt the feelings of. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Offend all laws of humanity. Strike with disgust or revulsion. Cause to feel resentment or indignation. Her tactless remark offended me. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Pass beyond, limits or boundaries. Commit a sin. Violate a law of God or a moral law. Spread over land, especially along a subsiding shoreline. The sea transgresses along the west coast of the island. Fail to agree with. Be in violation of, as of rules or patterns. This sentence violates the rules of syntax. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Violate the basic laws or human civilization. Violate the sacred character of a place or language. Violate the sanctity of the church. Destroy and strip of its possession. Force someone to have sex against their will. Destroy. Don't violate my garden. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. A personal or social separation, as between opposing factions. Make an opening or gap in. A failure to perform some promised act or obligation. An opening, especially a gap in a dike or fortification. Tennis. A score consisting of winning a game when your opponent was serving. He was up 2 breaks in the second set. Breaking of hard tissue such as bone. The break seems to have been caused by a fall. Enter someone's virtual or real property in an unauthorized manner, usually with the intent to steal or commit a violent act. Be released or become known, of news. Fail to agree with. Be in violation of, as of rules or patterns. An act of delaying or interrupting the continuity. It was presented without commercial breaks. Lessen in force or effect. Break a fall. An escape from jail. The breakout was carefully planned. Interrupt a continued activity. Force out or release suddenly and often violently something pent up. Break into tears. Any frame in which a bowler fails to make a strike or spare. The break in the 8th frame cost him the match. Go to pieces. Ruin completely. Act in disregard of laws, rules, contracts, or promises. Break a law. Become fractured. Break or crack on the surface only. Do a break dance. Kids were break dancing at the street corner. Prevent completion. Break off the negotiations. Become separated into pieces or fragments. Make known to the public information that was previously known only to a few people or that was meant to be kept a secret. Terminate. Break a lucky streak. Surpass in excellence. Break a record. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The act of breaking something. The breakage was unavoidable. Happen. Break down, literally or metaphorically. A pause from doing something, as work. We took a 10-minute break. Stop operating or functioning. Fracture a bone of. Reduce to bankruptcy. My daughter's fancy wedding is going to break me. Assign to a lower position. Reduce in rank. Geology. A crack in the Earth's crust resulting from the displacement of one side with respect to the other. Break a piece from a whole. Break a branch from a tree. Make submissive, obedient, or useful. The horse was tough to break. A time interval during which there is a temporary cessation of something. Move away or escape suddenly. Nobody can break out. This prison is high security. A personal or social separation, as between opposing factions. They hoped to avoid a break in relations. Some abrupt occurrence that interrupts an ongoing activity. There was a break in the action when a player was hurt. Destroy the completeness of a set of related items. The book dealer would not break the set. Cease an action temporarily. Let's break for lunch. An unexpected piece of good luck. He finally got his big break. An abrupt change in the tone or register of the voice, as at puberty or due to emotion. Then there was a break in her voice. A sudden dash. He made a break for the open door. Be broken in. If the new teacher won't break, we'll add some stress. Become punctured or penetrated. Cause the failure or ruin of. This play will either make or break the playwright. Cause to give up a habit. Change direction suddenly. Change suddenly from one tone quality or register to another. Come forth or begin from a state of latency. Come into being. Come to an end. Crack. Of the male voice in puberty. His voice is breaking, he should no longer sing in the choir. Curl over and fall apart in surf or foam, of waves. Destroy the integrity of, usually by force, cause to separate into pieces or fragments. Diminish or discontinue abruptly. Emerge from the surface of a body of water. Exchange for smaller units of money. I had to break a $100 bill just to buy the candy. Fall sharply. Find a flaw in. Break an alibi. Find the solution or key to. Break the code. Give up. Break cigarette smoking. Happen or take place. Things have been breaking pretty well for us in the past few months. Interrupt the flow of current in. Break a circuit. Invalidate by judicial action. Make a rupture in the ranks of the enemy or one's own by quitting or fleeing. Make the opening shot that scatters the balls. Pierce or penetrate. Render inoperable or ineffective. Scatter or part. Separate from a clinch, in boxing. The occurrence of breaking. The break in the dam threatened the valley. The opening shot that scatters the balls in billiards or pool. Undergo breaking. Vary or interrupt a uniformity or continuity. Weaken or destroy in spirit or body. Action taken by a group of people. A military engagement. A military engagement. He saw action in Korea. A judicial proceeding brought by one party against another. One party prosecutes another for a wrong done or for protection of a right or for prevention of a wrong. The operating part that transmits power to a mechanism. The piano had a very stiff action. Institute legal proceedings against. File a suit against. She actioned the company for discrimination. Put in effect. He actioned the operation. The state of being active. He is out of action. A process existing in or produced by nature, rather than by the intent of human beings. The action of natural forces. An act by a government body or supranational organization. Recent federal action undermined the segregationist position. Something done, usually as opposed to something said. There were stories of murders and other unnatural actions. The most important or interesting work or activity in a specific area or field. The action is no longer in technology stocks but in municipal bonds. The series of events that form a plot. His novels always have a lot of action. The trait of being active and energetic and forceful. A man of action. A difference between conflicting facts or claims or opinions. A conflict of people's opinions or actions or characters. The speech act of disagreeing or arguing or disputing. The relation between propositions that cannot both be true at the same time. Immunology. The degree to which the body's immune system will try to reject foreign material, as transfused blood or transplanted tissue. The quality of being unable to exist or work in congenial combination. Indicate through a symbol, formula, etc. The territory occupied by a nation. A politically organized body of people under a single government. The state has elected a new president. Chemistry. The three traditional states of matter are solids, fixed shape and volume, and liquids, fixed volume and shaped by the container, and gases, filling the container. The solid state of water is called ice. The territory occupied by one of the constituent administrative districts of a nation. His state is in the deep south. Put before. The federal department in the United States that sets and maintains foreign policies. Express in words. State your opinion. A state of depression or agitation. He was in such a state you just couldn't reason with him. The group of people comprising the government of a sovereign state. The state has lowered its income tax. The way something is with respect to its main attributes. The current state of knowledge. The opposition or dissimilarity of things that are compared. In contrast to. A conceptual separation or distinction. To show differences when compared, be different. The students contrast considerably in their artistic abilities. Put in opposition to show or emphasize differences. The middle school teacher contrasted her best student's work with that of her weakest student. The act of distinguishing by comparing differences. The perceptual effect of the juxtaposition of very different colors. The range of optical density and tone on a photographic negative or print, or the extent to which adjacent areas on a television screen differ in brightness. To show differences when compared, be different. A musical form involving the simultaneous sound of two or more melodies. Write in counterpoint. Bach perfected the art of counterpointing. Mixed feelings or emotions. Mixed feelings or emotions. The act of hostile groups opposing each other. The invaders encountered stiff opposition. An armed adversary, especially a member of an opposing military force. The action of opposing something that you disapprove or disagree with. Despite opposition from the newspapers, he went ahead. A contestant that you were matched against. The relation between opposed entities. A body of people united in opposing something. A direction opposite to another. The major political party opposed to the party in office and prepared to replace it if elected. Her Majesty's loyal opposition. The relation between opposed entities. Actions taken by a government to defeat insurgency.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.